Hi, my name is Kelly Lally with Better Living Socal, and this is Jill Annan. And we are here today with some of our favorite people that we cannot wait to introduce you to. As many of you know, we have, over the last few weeks, taken more than 50, 60, maybe even 70% of our marketing budget and been putting it back into small businesses that are local to our community. We realize the impact that this has had on so many people pretty much right out the gate once all of this started happening in our new world. Talking to people that have the small businesses and figuring out how we can all network together to support one another going through these times really just gave us this great idea. And we've been able to partner with them and bring people in our local community joy, our past clients, happiness, something that gives them to look forward to. And so this week we have Jen and Scott from Dzign Haus.
Hello.
Hi. And they are the most, we're all going to be our own worst advocates, so I'm going to toot their horn. Because they are, when we initially met, we were doing these pop-ups at Chapman Crafted in Old Town Orange. And they were the first ones to show up, reach out a hand on helping, going so far above and beyond being a participant, and really they're just the most heartfelt, loving, compassionate, hardworking, just
family.
Yes, family. And so when we were doing, putting all this together, the ideas that they flowed with, and I can't wait to show you the packaging and everything that they did. I was expecting a candle. I know that what they do is so much more than that, but that's what I was expecting. And what they put together was just, I totally cried. I am a crier, if you know me. But I'm going to let them take it away, and would love for you guys to share a little bit about who you are, where you live, what you do.
Well, my name's Jen. This is Scott. Sometimes. Hopefully that was easy to deduct. I started this company as a curiosity, kind of as a hobby, and it kind of snowballed from there. It started with my favorite candle. It lost its life, it was done, and there was a bunch of wax left on the side of the candle. And so from there, I started researching how to make a candle, how to remelt it, how to add a wick. And, today we've become a little bit more than just candles, but candle is still our heart. It's a family business. We all get involved, from the smallest things to the biggest things. And we've kind of moved into some decor. And when Kelly reached out to us about potentially helping out and doing something for the community, we looked at things that not only were important to us, but were also important to her. And she did pick a quote. And from that little quote, I think it inspired my design. It inspired, the colors that we're actually, using in this specific design. I think it spurs a lot of thought. It also hopefully will make everyone very happy. And Scott helps me very much. He does all the pouring now.
It's interesting because back in the day, I used to be Jen's boss, and now she's the boss.
Oh, you were dipping your pen in company ink.
Yep. I don't know if you all remember Champs Americana back in the Irvine Spectrum days, but it's no longer there. Anyways.
It took him a while, though. It took him like a year. I kept trying to say, do you want to have dinner? And he was like, I don't date employees.
Well, let me tell you, she's a tough boss. I do a lot of the candles. I make the candles in small batches, and there's never a time that I don't have Jen come out and physically inspect the wicks and making sure that they were poured right, and looking at ounces, and that final touch of quality assurance that goes into each and every one of these. Anybody can make a candle, right? You throw a wick in there and some wax, and off you go. But these are made with a lot of passion and a lot of research. You know, we've spent, you know, hours and hours testing wicks in different containers, and you know, we had some trials and tribulations of some of them, and anyways, what we were able to, you know, put together here is pretty amazing, and I really thank Kelly and Jill for the opportunity. This is like a dream come true. I mean, just like a lot of the small businesses out there in Tustin, we've been struggling. We didn't know, you know, at this time last year, we really didn't know how we were going to make ends meet. You know, I joined forces with Jen and brought my operational side with her. She doesn't like the sales side. I love it. So we kind of complement each other, and you know, we're able to really, you know, work well together as a husband and wife team. You know, but more importantly, I think that we really are, you know, all about community. You know, anything we can do to partner with Tustin and, you know, and give back to those that are not as fortunate. We jump at every moment. You know, my dad was always a big, you know, giver when it came to donations, and, you know, whether it was my sister's softball team and, you know, funding or whatever it was. And, you know, I'm going to spend the rest of my life, you know, trying to, you know, do what we can as a family to give back as well.
And I think once you start joining forces and kind of giving back, the power that creates and where that takes you, I think is priceless, and is actually goes farther than, you know, if you didn't share and you didn't explore those communities and those, you know, uniting and kind of collaborations.
Right. Well, and you know, just actually listening to you guys talk right now, I feel like, you know, we have all of these kids that are getting ready to graduate.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be neat if they got their own personalized candle from their family, or, you know, if they're a cheerleader, you know, that helps them like remember to keep their light going, you know, because I can't imagine being in their position right now, and they're probably not going to have their graduations and all of these things that,
but we remember. That is so, you know, and it's so important to us. Like, we remember graduating. We remember, you know, grad night. I'm like, we don't even get to go to grad night, which is so local for Orange County. Like,
for everybody, like your moms right now, we've got Mother's Day coming up.
Father's Day. Dads like candles.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
So, okay, so we are week 4. Is this week 4?
Feels like week 6.
Yeah, I feel like so we're week 4. You guys, you made 200 candles for us. Tell us about like that process. Like, what are the scents? Because it smells freaking amazing in here right now. Like, what was all of that?
Okay, so we were actually very lucky after we spoke and kind of like realized how many we needed to make. We were very blessed that our supplier, who's in Glendora, was open, and he actually allowed us to come and pick up curbside. And so we started off as we take the containers. Our sons were helping us unpack some of the containers and actually sticking the warning labels on the bottom. I mean, we stick the wicks in, and then we kind of went through some of our scents. There's about 5 different scents, and most of them are kind of your summery, springtime scents that are going to kind of, you know, make you remember the outdoors and being out with friends. And so that's kind of how it all started. And we probably had it done with the candles were probably done within 4 days, 5 days. They do take about a week to cure. So I started off with making the candles first. And then from there, you know, we had a meeting of the minds with Kelly, and we kind of played around with the designs of the labels and the boxes. And, you know, I had to fold each box. If you actually pull up any of the boxes, you'll notice that there's one seam on the box. They're all on the right-hand side in the upper corner. All the labels are facing the right way.
She's a perfectionist.
That's just how
So when we say made with love, like every detail,
yes, made with love. Yes. And just like any other company, when they start, you know, I was sitting in the garage through the day, through the evening. The kids would come out and help where they could. He came out and helped where he was able to help as well. And I was just me in the garage.
What we didn't talk about was the scents. So there was 5 of them.
Five. Well, let me see if I can remember. There was one. It was it's called Boho Chic. Very, very bright. I would say it kind of mixed in like the fruitiness with a little bit of subtleness of like herbs. And then we also have the water mint and clementine, which just reminds me of summer. It's just happy. We also have another one that we called OC Socal Local, and that kind of reminds us of the beach. It has a lot of the beachy scents. We also have Volcano, which is the reason why I started making candles, and everybody knows Volcano if you have bought one from Anthropology. We also have another one that's Pineapple Sage. Is that?
Can we make a new scent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rustin and Tustin.
Absolutely.
We need our
I
own.
love it.
We need our own.
Right.
Because you know what? I will tell you, I believe that we live in like the greatest community ever. I mean, seeing the way that people have supported each other and loved on each other
Yep.
was just
And I just
mind-blowing.
hope that continues. You know, even after this, let's all focus on, you know, spending it in our city, in our community.
That goes to the quote that we chose. So who doesn't love Maya Angelou? I mean, has some of the most beautiful, thoughtful words and things that really make you think. And this was really hard because I was bouncing between 2. But the one that we ended up going with was, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And I feel that right now, going through these times of really being there for people and being supportive and not being judgmental and choosing kinder words, means so much more. And, you know, we as like our family, I used to order, I'm not kidding you, I am embarrassed to even say this, but like every day from Amazon, something, maybe every other day. And since all of this has started, I've ordered one thing from Amazon. Everything else, I've been able to find a way to keep it on a local basis because I love our community. And, you know, I think one of the things like we were talking about was if we don't take care of our community and do this more on a local basis, the places that you love to go, the people that you love to see, your favorite servers, your favorite boutiques, your favorite bartenders, they're not going to be able to sustain and be there if we don't continue our support. So, you know, we would love to ask you to think about how you're spending your money. And if you're going to spend it, if you can do whatever you can to keep that local, we want to take care of our people. And we have so many amazing people.
Yeah, very true.
And you know, a lot of the people that are local that have these small businesses also would attend a lot of pop-ups. And as of right now, as you know, like those aren't happening. But there's a lot of amazing creatives, and we're going to share a list with you of some of our favorite local creatives. So hopefully you can shop from them too.
Yes.
Because we do have Mother's Day and Father's Day coming up. And, you know, it's not what you spend, it's what comes from your heart. And
to give something that's not generic. Like, you know, that's actually handmade and someone's, you know, that's their pride and joy. Most people who make things, this is their passion.
Right.
And to be able to support that is priceless.
So if people wanted to find you, where's the best place for them to?
Well, a few places. One, we're on Instagram at Dzign Haus _. We have a Facebook page, and we have a website, which is www.designhousechic.com. So any one of those, you can send us a direct message. We'd love it if you followed us too. We're always up for kind of growing our business and our followers, and we try to keep it very real. And one thing that Jen didn't say is she's got a very simple, mindful design way about her. And so you'll see that, I think, throughout all of the pictures, because she doesn't let me put up any pictures that are not black and white anymore. So, anyways. Yes,
I want to throw in one thing too that really stuck with me, and this was even when we first met, and then we were talking again about it this morning, was when you guys, for you it's just not showing up at a pop-up. Yes, you guys are doing work, but why don't you explain, can you?
Yeah, I'll take that on.
About like when we do.
Yeah,
I will say the night before a pop-up is probably the only time him and I argue, which is very funny because it's stressful. You're packing up stuff, you're moving things, we've dropped boxes of items and broken it, but at the end of the day we sit back and we laugh and we're like, wasn't that awesome? We met some great people and we try to really keep in contact with that. But I'll let him talk about the whole pop-up. And
when we first started doing pop-ups, we didn't know the first thing about what a pop-up was, and now to this day, I mean, like I look forward to them just because
you didn't know what it was.
I know.
Women always know.
So now I definitely know what they are, but more importantly, I look forward to them because I get to meet so many awesome people, in the community. I don't know how many people we've met that said, I have a friend, that knows a friend, or whatever the connections have been. There's been so many doors that have opened up, wherever we can help out. We're always scratching somebody's back, and we're not looking for anything in return. And, I think when, there's been a few, fundraisers that we've been able to get behind, and, happy to do it, giving proceeds back, or, at one point we gave, I think 100% of the proceeds, and, that felt great. And, we'd love to do more of those things, but these aren't just events to make money. That's like the byproduct. It's more about, how can we add value to someone's life, and, it makes me feel so great that, people get excited, and when they get excited, I get excited, and I can talk about, anything for way too long. But honestly, I definitely, I'm done.
And look, supporting local.
Yes, absolutely.
Lost Bean right there.
They brought us Lost Bean burritos this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
The way through my heart is through my stomach.
Practice what you preach.
Obviously.
Well, and then, like I mentioned to you, I also wanted to just say thank you, for bringing us into this, because I really think when this all happened, after, usually for candles, for our business, like October to December is about 60% of our business. So come January, February, it automatically slows down. So it was crickets. And, we were kind of sitting there going, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then, once you kind of reached out to us, it almost seems like the universe kind of reached out to us, because we were starting to get orders from other people. And so I really want to thank you for pulling us in. I'm like, it was a family thing. This is something in history that we're never going to forget. I told my kids that, and like, this is history. We are living it. I go, you're going to tell your kids someday, my mom was doing 200 candles. I go, this is history, and you are part of our history and our family. And it really helped to get us through those days early on, with keeping us busy.
They shut down our 2 locations. We had no sales coming in, and then Kelly reaches out with
we're still having to pay rent on our locations. Yeah. It's a little bit of, it's reduced.
Right.
But on the other, they have to pay their bills as well. So we understand that. So this not only is helping, us, it's also helping 2 locations to kind of help maintain open, because we're able to pay the rent, to kind of help them make it through this times. They've had to take out loans, to keep their businesses going once this all is up and running. So I thank you. I think you have an amazing heart, and it very much shows.
Both of us. Thank you.
Very much shows.
Well, thank you. You guys, you rallied, and you beyond, so far exceeded any expectation on this.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And we are so excited because these These are all going to start dropping today. So
Yes.
watch your doorstep. I wish we had like 15,000 more so that we could do everybody, but we're trying to do what we can.
Well, you're gonna come over and start pouring. I'll teach you how to pour.
Hey, I have a 6 and an 8-year-old. We will put those girls to
all
work.
right, that
on.
works.
We don't sleep till these are done.
I will say, with your candles, please trim the wicks each time you use it. That is coconut wax, so it's a little bit of a softer wax. It likes short wicks. It keeps it nice and hot. So please, I don't want any other calls.
You just said it like short wicks. I'm sorry.
Can we? That's done.
Can we edit that?
It is so funny. It is so good. Hey, this whole thing is not going to be edited. I mean,
Oh
I'm
my
that
God.
talented.
The shorter the better.
It goes against everything you've ever heard.
No.
Oh, boy.
Okay, with that, we are. Don't forget to cut your wick.